All right, you all, this is Joshua. I had a big chunk break off of my garbage disposal on my kitchen sink. So today I'm going to be replacing it. One thing that I've done, and I recommend that you read your instruction manuals first of all, because they have all the safety information. I'm an electronics technician by trade, so I already knew flip the circuit breaker that goes to the disposal and the dishwasher off, and to make sure that the actual switch that enables it to turn on off is in the off position. Step 1. Identify your switch that operates the disposal. Make sure it is in the off position. Step 2. Find your circuit breaker panel. Identify where your disposal is. For us, it's number 9, dishwasher disposal. Look at your panel. Find 9. Me, it's right here. It's in the off position, or on. Turn off. Step 3, go back to your switch. Make sure it's off. Leave it on the off position. Now we're ready to disassemble the disposal. Okay, so we are ready to start disassembling this and removing the disposal. Step number 1, I would loosen this cable tensioner, pull it out of the way, take off this plate by loosening the nut and removing it, and then untying the cable nuts, the wires, the ground screw, the retaining ring on the inside, and pulling it out just like I showed. Now you would probably want to cover that with something so it doesn't get wet, and this is why. I would get a bucket or something to catch water, gray water, whatever you want to call it, because this thing is nasty when you remove it. I'm talking when you loosen the hose clamp and take it off, because this is hooked to the dishwasher, it's going to come out. And it's nasty, dirty, it smells, and you don't want it on you or anything else, so I would have something to catch that. And the same applies for the PVC pipe right here that goes to the disposal and out. the sink outlet. You would loosen this piece right here, unscrew it, and then this will pull out. Like I said, you want something to catch that. After those are removed, you would then loosen or unscrew the mount ring. Now there's two notches, one in the front and one in the back. So you would want to unscrew it this way, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Now I would use slip joint pliers, a pipe wrench first, maybe your hands, but if it's stuck or it's really tight, because most of these have been on there for years, I would get a hammer or a rubber mallet and I would gently tap it to loosen it. One warning with that is this thing is heavy, and once you unscrew it, it'll fall. So make sure you're holding it or have someone else help you with that. It is really heavy, and you don't want your head underneath it or your hands, because it'll fall and it'll injure you. So after you remove that, then you would come up here and you would take out the rubber seal that's on the inside of this. With this removed, that's going to stay on there. You slide it up, you take that seal off, this grooved, and then this will slide right off. After that, you would want to unscrew your support ring right here. That's got all your gaskets in it. This is what's holding the flange up top on here. It's what keeps it on. It keeps it tight, keeps it from leaking. It's got your fiber gasket, your rubber seal up at the top. But once you unscrew this, take it off, then you put the sink flange will come right out at the top. That's pretty much it. Now this is important. There's a knockout plug in here. I guess they want to keep it sealed. You don't want to leave that in there. I do plan on installing this first. This assembly comes pre-assembled from the factory. It goes on first, it attaches to this part, and then you hook up all the rest of it. I generally, when I disassemble something, I will disconnect the electrical cord first. And then, of course, the auxiliary hoses and stuff like that. And then I'll work on removing this, and then that's last, obviously. And then I do everything in reverse. I'll put this, connect that, connect the hoses, and then I'll hook up the electrical part last. I'll make sure that everything is good and snug. One thing I will add, with this model, they actually had this adapter right here, just in case you had a 3-bolt mount adapter kit that was already pre-assembled. I guess it takes the headache out of a lot of it. I don't need it. I'm just showing you, if you had it, that's what that is. And also, because I have a stainless steel sink, I'm just going to be using these rubber gaskets that came from the factory. If not, I guess you would have to use some kind of plumber's putty. Like if you had a cast iron sink, we don't need that. So I'm gonna go ahead and prep this. One thing I'll add is this elbow joint came from the factory. I don't need it. My setup is different, and I'll show you that here in a second. So without further ado, I'm gonna take this apart and I'll explain it to you as I do it. Okay, now this is a kind of a bad angle. But, okay, so from the factory, this is your mount ring. Now it does come with a seal on the bottom, and it's called the cushion mount. You have to take this off first. In this orientation, I guess the lip is on the bottom. It's got a groove on the inside. If not, you're going to be spinning this. It actually locks this on there, or keeps it from coming off. So you'd be scratching your head for a while. So this comes off, and I've already put it on the inside. But there is the splash guard on the inside. This is your sink flange. And this little ring right here is your support ring. So there's an arrow on here. I don't think you can really see it. That shows up. So I'm going to take this off. And then there's actually two gaskets. You have a nylon gasket. I'm sorry, a fiber gasket. And then your rubber. This goes on the bottom. This goes on the top. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So, oh, and also, it's going to get really dirty when you disassemble that thing. And make sure you clean that surface, or even with the rubber, it won't seal. So that's on there good. Oh. So, okay, let's do the rest of this now. Like I said, please excuse the bad lighting, but I'm going to put this underneath and let's get to it. Now, we'll say that with this, recommend that you get a actual pipe wrench. I don't have one on hand. I'm gonna get it as tight as I can, and you don't want it too tight. I actually had quite a fight taking the old one off because the seal was so deteriorated that it broke off into chunks, and it made my life really difficult taking it off. Okay. I'm gonna use some channel locks real quick. Make sure that that's tight. Okay, that was a little flow. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. It actually needs to go this way, so. Now, after I assemble this, if I do think that's leaking, I do believe there's a 24-hour leak check, I will come back with a pipe wrench and I'll put it on there. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna get as tight as I can by hand, and then I'll address that later. It's not going anywhere. Okay. All right. One step. I almost forgot. I gotta prep the. electrical wiring. There's a nut in the bottom here that you take off that lets you get to this thing. I don't want to forget that step because it'll be a whole lot more of a pain to get off when this thing's already hung up. It's about a 3/8, by the way. Okay. So, you know, covers off. It has your hot, your neutral, and it has the plastic, I guess, cover. And right here, that green screw right there is where our ground's going to be. And I'll tell you, any electrician, anybody who's dealt with electrical work, anybody you ever talk to who deals with this in the industry is going to tell you, you must ground your electrical equipment. If you don't, and there's a short or a malfunction, it could shock you, short out, catch on fire. There's all kinds of things that can go bad. If you get a power cable, get one with a ground. Do not cheat yourself on this. You need it. If you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what that is, seek professional help. It's just something you don't want to do. Okay. Let's get rid of this stop here. Yep, almost forgot that. I told you about that earlier. Okay. Oh, another thing that they say, don't work with your head underneath the disposal when you're working on it, because this thing is heavy enough to hurt you if you drop it on your face. So just something to think about. Okay. So all that's on. And there's that rubber piece that we took off and that silver ring. That's where it's got to go back on. What am I doing? Okay. So that ring goes on first and then the seal. If you ever try to do that backwards, you'll see why it's not going to work. Okay, so it's on. Now the fun part. There's two notches in this thing, and I know the light, oh there it is. Right here, there's two of them. There's also two on the ring, and basically we're going to seat this up where we want it facing our tubing, and then we're going to make sure that that locks on it. Easier said than done, especially at this angle. There it goes. I'm guessing that wrench would have done really good about now. I'm gonna try to use the other end of my hammer and tap it. Well, I'm not sure I like that. It's not all the way on. Almost there. Wow. Well, I'm not sure I'm entirely comfortable with that, so for the sake of time, I'm probably going to edit this a little bit, and I'm going to put that on right, so I'll be back. Alright, so I had to enlist the help of my teenage son to help hold it. The problem I was having, I'm going to show you, there's a notch on the side. Let's see, yeah. There's a notch, and I know that lighting is terrible. If it's not all the way flush, the disposal could fall down, I guess over time. Vibration or whatever you want to call it, it will unseat and come down. So this way it's locked, and now we can move on with the rest of this. I also recommend, however, to cap your hoses off just in case some water comes out. I mean, it's gray water and you don't really want to deal with that. So, all right, moving on. Okay, it really doesn't matter in what order. This is the one all the water was coming out. The one for the dishwasher. So it has a rubber, I guess, boot that goes over it and a hose clamp. Okay, for the sake of light, I'm going to get a drill on this later. I'm just going to use a screwdriver for now. That. I am going to put new hardware on this, this pipe. I mean, the seal and the bracket were okay. I inspected them. There's no cracks. It's probably better than what came from the manufacturer. This one was special. But I will use new screws. I'm sorry. New bolts. So this thing does have a little play in it. You need to make this. Hopefully your plumbing is the same. If not, go with what is recommended. You do want them to line up. You don't want your disposal crooked and then your plumbing crooked. Okay, so I'm actually going to inspect this seal. Okay. Okay. Sure. Okay. Like I said, we'll come back and make sure that's not leaking later. That's pretty tight. Okay, so one of the last steps is the electrical work, so. Okay, the kit comes with 2 wire nuts. So, first thing I'm going to do is the ground, because it's important. On this wire, it's just or this cable, it's a copper wire. Oh boy. Okay. Guess it doesn't matter. This. Okay. Oh, okay. This little plastic piece that's messing me up. So, take that screw out all the way. There it is. Okay. Want a good connection on this wire. Hmm. See if I can't pull that tight. I didn't like the way that looked. I know I've been taking forever on it. I really don't play around with the ground. I've worked with high voltage appliances in a factory setting, and the ground wire, I'm telling you, saves lives. Don't cheat yourself or put yourself at risk by not taking that seriously, because it really does work. I know I said I was an electronics technician. That's only halfway true. I'm an industrial technician. We deal with electronics and electrical work. I've worked on 120 volt, 208, 230, 340, 440 volts, high amperage, low amperage. I've worked with automated machines, you know, industrial testers. So that looks good. A lot of people don't realize what this thing does, and if you're not sure, you need to contact a professional. And if you're still not sure, I would call someone to come install it. Okay, that looks good. I am happy with that. On there, it's not loose, it's got a good connection. Cool. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, so for the rest of it, goodness, I know I spent a lot of time on that. Okay. So we're going to put our neutral to neutral. One thing you don't want is for these ends here to be exposed. So you want to kind of tie them together, and you know, you don't want the neutral touching the hot. You can short out the wires. It's bad for anything, really. Let's go ahead and tie these up. These are tied together. Happy with it. That was loose. Okay. Okay, let's put the cover on. Go over, make sure everything's tight again. I forgot one piece of that PVC pipe. Let's see, where's the actual lid? Okay. Okay, there's a problem. I'm going to tighten that off video. You never want your cord to do this in case it comes loose and comes out. That's bad. So what I'm going to show you, I'm going to tighten this. It's got a plastic ring here, so I don't need any Teflon tape or pipe dope or anything like that, or pipe dough. Okay, let me take care of that, and then I'll be back. We are done with our repair, so don't forget to find your circuit breaker and turn it back on. Alright, so there's no more play in that electrical cord. I fixed that. I made sure everything else was connected. So now we have our disposal fully installed from the top. And the bottom, it's just like the other one was. And I have pictures of that. Everything's assembled. Circuit breaker has been turned on. Moment of truth. Let's observe our work. Oh, wow. That sounds even better than the other one. It's a quiet motor. My flashlight battery's dying. Nice. And there you have it. All right, have a good one.